In the summer of 1963, my $8 well-worn 1955 Allstate Cushman scooter tossed its connecting rod right through the camshaft. The 4-horsepower Husky engine was finished. With a month's gas station wages in my wallet, I caught a ride to Sacramento at Al Lohr's motorcycle dealership. I was 14 years old and hinged on the parts manager's every word. After carting a new 8-horsepower Super Eagle short block onto the oil-stained showroom floor, he asked whether I had a Cushman shop manual. A manual and gasket set were added to the invoice. My mechanical journey began here, with a Cushman Husky's shop manual in one hand and basic hand tools in the other. That magic manual held the key to a successful restoration project and set the stage for 6 decades of motorcycle, automotive, truck, and SUV work. I became a truck, fleet, and dealership mechanic, independent motorcycle shop owner, automotive and welding instructor, journalist, and book author. That work fed my family and kept our vehicles safe and reliable. Along the way, it helped pay for a university degree and eventually brought me to this channel. Throughout this journey, the wisdom of OEM shop manuals and trade repair and service manuals has guided my work. As a 14-year-old, I pored over every word in the Cushman scooter manual and discovered how empowering a shop manual can be. Decades later, when writing my series of Bentley Publishers technical books, that same level of inquiry and fact-finding earned official part numbers from vehicle manufacturers. My magazine journalism, Q&A columns, and classroom lesson plans were all thoroughly researched. OEM workshop manuals, trade manuals, and parts manuals served as vital resources. Today, my resource library is 4 tall bookcases packed with OEM shop manuals and trade books. Broad enough coverage to service each vehicle I've ever owned, each magazine and book project I built, plus data for the customers' vehicles that I've worked on. Manuals give us insight, confidence, and a sense of satisfaction, knowing that the work has been done properly. Truck fleet responsibilities honed my preventive maintenance skills, a strategy that carries over to motorcycle adventure. Riding your on or off-road motorcycle to 100 miles from nowhere, the value of self-reliance and a well-maintained bike become critically important. So let's take a tour of the motorcycle books that I use regularly. These are the same books that dealership technicians depend on. We'll use these books during step-by-step service work in the night school sessions. I'll share how to interpret each procedure and follow the steps like a seasoned professional. You can apply these skills while working on your motorcycle. This is a copy of the book that piqued my curiosity about automotive and motorcycle mechanics. Success with that Cushman project encouraged me to go further. Insights into how to properly remove a flywheel with the right tool prevented me from damaging a brand new short block. This was the right way to do the work. The manual taught me how to troubleshoot, how to repair, how to install, and how to understand the basic functions of each of the parts on the scooter. The service manual was like having a mentor in my shop. Without a manual, parts get damaged. The installer gets discouraged and quite often never works on the bike again. Thanks to a parts manager, I got off to the right start. That manual launched my career. This official Honda shop manual for my XR350 was drafted 20 years later than that early Cushman manual. This book is well organized and full of facts. It is the manufacturer's view of how to service the motorcycle. For accuracy and parts procurement, details about the model are at the start of the book. Content and sections are well organized. This book covers every inch of the motorcycle. I will completely restore the XR500R shortly, using a book similar to this one. There is a major advantage to CDs and PDF copies. They are bookmarked. Navigation is quick. You can get from one section to another with just a click of the mouse. This is the official Honda manual for my Honda XR650R. Notice the detail and number of sections the entire motorcycle is covered, with graphics, detailed illustrations and schematics, and step-by-step procedures for every type of overhaul and build. When identifying the motorcycle, every detail is covered, including these type codes that represent the specific country in which the vehicle was sold. Tuning and equipment can differ between venues. Sometimes the differences are regulations. Regulations can include emissions demands. This is a section that I used when rebuilding the top end of the XR650R engine. The video coverage of that rebuild is available at the channel. Sequence steps and details are outlined in these chapters. A major advantage of using CDs or PDFs is that you can print out individual pages from the manual. When you're doing a task, these pages can be taken to your workbench, and instead of smudging up a print manual, you're able to use these pages without damaging a book. There are aftermarket shop manuals. Climber is one of the better ones. My only concern with these manuals is that unlike the official factory manuals, they cover too many model years, and in this case, too many models. I prefer the factory shop manuals for their accuracy and further detail. My Harley-Davidson Evolution V-Twin Owner's Bible is a compendium of information. It is not a factory workshop manual, but makes a great companion to the factory workshop manual for the individual model year and model Evolution motorcycle. The aim with each of my Bentley Publishers books is to help the reader to think like a mechanic. Whether they perform the work themselves or sublet it to a shop, they will be an informed consumer and understand the mechanical process. Mechanics is a linear process. That process can be better understood if we develop a literacy around factory workshop manuals. A dozen Harley-Davidson official manuals informed my thinking around the Evolution V-Twin Owner's Bible. An excellent resource for parts and also for assembly features is the factory official manuals that are available online from parts retail sources. Here you will learn about updated supersedure parts that improve function, and you can order the updated part that will perform better than the original equipment piece. This updated clutch guide will lubricate properly and prevent seizure. Quality aftermarket suppliers provide catalogs that are also very useful. They can be informative with data and parts fitment details. LA Sleeve Company installed an iron chromoly cylinder when I rebuilt my XR650R engine. The proprietary iron chromoly cylinder required a knowledge of the tolerances and correct piston and rings to use with that cylinder. For those restoring an older Harley-Davidson motorcycle, this is an aftermarket book worth having. No longer in print, used copies can sometimes be found at eBay. Parts interchange is a valuable subject. I hold on to user's manuals and owner's manuals for equipment as well. I added the motorcycle stand wheel chock to my Harbor Freight lift to get more utility and a safe way for one person to tie down a motorcycle. I will share tips like this at the channel. This lift is much safer with this chock installed, and the installation was easy. I can readily load and unload the XR650R from this lift. So for these sessions, there will be no textbooks. Instead, I ask that you have an OEM workshop manual on hand for each of your motorcycles. When we perform service work, I'll demonstrate the hands-on tasks on a prototype bike. Steps will reflect the common maintenance and service needs of most motorcycles. For accuracy and quality work, you will need an official model-specific shop manual. A bound print book, a 3-ring binder, a CD, or a PDF copy will work. CDs and PDFs are convenient and easy to navigate. You can print a procedures pages for use at your workbench. After watching the steps and listening to my comments and footnotes, you'll use your motorcycle's OEM shop manual to perform reliable service work. In our next session, I'll introduce a prototype bike. That motorcycle is due for a major restoration, and we'll begin by evaluating the bike's wear points and safety concerns before the teardown. Join us at Session 3.